Did you see that? A ghost.
Welcome to Paranormal Pentivity, a show about songwriting, ghostwriting, and everything in between. My name is Nayim. I am your host, and today, real quick before we get started, shout out to Monsoon B. We know what I'm talking about. All I'm gonna say is I feel you. And if I didn't pronounce that right, let me know. Number 2, we back on the Paranormal Pentivity set. Finally, I guess number 3 would be I was trying to do the fancy thing. I can't get into that right now. It's songwriting season, and for me, songwriting season is between March and November, and I'm just slammed with clients every single day. So I just want to be able to do it. You know, if it ain't broke, we ain't about to fix it. I just don't have time for it. But this is the bonus episode. The real episode will be later today. So why don't ghostwriters and songwriters and people from behind the scene feel the need to say anything, come out, be seen, or any of that? It's really a simple thing, and a lot of people would take it as like there's two sides to it. The positive side and maybe the negative side be the first things that come to people's mind. The positive side would be, you know, some people have stronger skill sets that are behind a camera or behind the microphone or sight unseen. Some people work better in teams. Some people want to be a part of teams. Some people always wanted to be an asset to some type of other collective. Any positive thing, you know, pouring into somebody else's dream, any positive thing you could think of. The negative side, people will automatically assume that it would be image issues with packaging. And I say packaging like, are people gonna accept this, or is this gonna be able to be marketable or sold, or, you know, confidence problems, just anything that would have to do with a personal problem. That's what people think, that a person wouldn't want to come out or whatever. And then if you want to have somewhere in the middle, you know, people just trying to get money come up, they use this to build or whatever. And I'm gonna be for real with you, a lot of that stuff, it sound good, but the real reason a lot of ghostwriters and songwriters just don't really feel the need to make themselves front runners is because a lot of this shit is not worth the headache. I'm gonna be for real with you. Like, I'm thinking about how before I started to transition into being more in front of a camera, it's so taxing being in front of a camera. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying that, because it takes a certain type of person to stand in front of a camera no matter what. Being a person that was a ghostwriter and still is to some type of degree, at least just for educational purposes, you know, being the person who as a person who was and still is behind the scenes, I don't have to deal with a lot of the bullshit that comes with people throwing rocks at you, people throwing axes at you. Anything that's done is being criticized for the world to be ate up. Every mistake you made is going to be put on a platform. Everything that goes wrong is going to be magnified way bigger than anything that goes right. Speculation, criticism, threats, all that stuff. It still happens behind the scene. Don't think that it don't happen. I will argue that it's to a worse degree, because people can get away with a lot more and people can slide by with a lot more stuff when there's just no proof that anybody said or did anything to you aside from what you have. The problem with that would be nobody knows who you are as a ghostwriter or your position in a situation as a person who is supposed to be a ghost. What is a ghost? You're not seen, you're not heard, you're a ghost. You don't exist. So it's like people are able to get away with a lot of stuff, opposed to if you were somebody who was in the front, you're not getting away with as much. Now, you still might get away with whatever it is, and I'm not giving no specific example about that, but we all know, and we all know situations where it might have been somebody that was behind you, whether you was at the job or something like that, that did something, but whoever was in charge has to take the blame. Whoever was the front runner had to take the blame. And realistically, a lot of this stuff is not worth a lot of the bullshit that you would have to put up with, or that you do put up with when you start making yourself known. The biggest part of what I'm saying is a lot of the mentality with the people behind the scenes, they tend to care more about emotions. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it's like the people behind the scenes care more than the person who has to stand in the front. Because once you put yourself out as, hey, I'm a songwriter, and you become a known songwriter, you are subject to the same stuff as the people who are your clients, to the companies that you work with. You know, I work with a lot of food companies, and some people would say stuff to me, you know, oh, you push poison, you sell poison, that's worse than drugs, this Coca-Cola kills somebody, you know, just all type of stuff, right? Everybody don't have the mentality to be a person who decides they want to come from behind the scenes. You have to actually be able to detach yourself completely from this industry. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. And this is why a lot of people are not interested in coming from behind the scenes, because not only are they not getting treated right and all type of other stuff, but it's just the amount of detaching you have to do in order to survive and be a success in the music industry is actually pretty inhumane. Because there's going to be a lot of stuff that happens where nobody's saying that you can't have empathy. Nobody's saying that you can't look at a situation and feel bad, but I'm telling you that all you can do is look at stuff and be like, damn, that's crazy. But you got to keep it moving, because your train, somebody plucking a nickel on the track don't stop the train. This is how you pay your bills. This is how you build your notoriety. This is how you are able to work with bigger clients, and people trust you with projects and all type of stuff, is because of your level of detachment from you have to be able to completely detach, because you're going to run into so many things that don't look right. You're going to run into so many things that are not right. You're going to have so many situations where, you know, there's a lot of people who do the conflict of interest, and some people are so real that they refuse to do stuff. But I'm going to be real with you. Most of the time, that's not the case. People will know a person is a certain type of way, or a trifling, or they did something to somebody, or they got pending, you know, stick anything in there. You got to be able to make the distinction and the decision of, are you going to let an opportunity, especially if it's a paid one, you're going to let an opportunity go by that will push you up, or are you going to keep it so real that no opportunities come, or the opportunities that come keep you stationary? You have to have that level of not giving a fuck. Point blank, period. You still have to have it behind the scenes, but you can still pick and choose. The biggest issue with coming from behind the scenes and putting yourself in the front would be, now, a lot of us from behind the scenes don't get graceful transitions to the front. A lot of us get thrown into in front of a camera, or get thrown into the public, and you really might have the demeanor of somebody who is just like, you know, I'm just here to write music. I don't really care. And now you're subject to everybody's opinion. Or, hey, I wrote a song for XYZ. Who on the wall? I wrote a song, I don't know, whatever. I wrote a song for somebody who is not favorable, and you keep working with that person because y'all work well and you're getting paid. And now you're subject to threats. You're subject to slander. You're subject to libel. You're subject to people that you don't know just saying anything to you. And that is a hard thing when you're not used to being in the front, or you never got accustomed to being thrust into the front. And that's why people don't come. It's not worth it. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, most people from behind the scenes are looking at it like, hell no. I don't know what I would do if somebody leaked my baby mama news. Like, it's just all, you know, all type of stuff that be happening. Most of us don't feel like putting ourselves in the front is worth it. And that's just pretty much what that is. It's too much of a headache. It's too much of a hassle. It's not worth your sanity, your peace of mind. Most people don't even have the mental fortitude to be a premier songwriter, because other people are going to ask you about other songwriters as well. And a lot of us behind the scenes, we tend to practice brutal honesty. So a lot of us don't even really have the attitude that would be favorable to win in front, because it'll come off, you know, you get a couple, let's just say you got you a Beyonce placement, or you got you a placement on a TV show or something, and you keep getting placements and you keep going up and you keep doing and everything you do. You know, a lot of people don't practice being humble or nothing. Not to say that you even have to, because you worked for that. You worked hard for that, but it's just like the attitudes come off as so venomous because of how hard you had to work, opposed to somebody walking through the door from maybe Atlantic Records or something and just throwing somebody in your session and saying you're going to be writing for them, and then they take your hit song and give it away to them. And then another little thing is people get their dreams crushed. They don't feel like it's necessary to come out and, like, after somebody takes a hit song from you and give it to somebody else who is not as talented as you, and you never got the chance because you got signed and you got shelved and all you can do is write, your dream get crushed. But most of it is niggas ain't trying to deal with why the fuck are we even doing this? You know, like, it's like, nigga, fuck that. I'm not about to be bothered with that shit. Fuck all of this. And that's how most of the people feel. It's not worth it. It's like, whatever. I'm not, throw that shit away. So we back to what we do the regular way. This is Paranormal Pentivity. I will holler at you.
Did you see that?